listening to Full Circle Weekly News. These articles are compiled by Eric the Unready, and I'm your host, Moss Bliss. This is episode 361, covering week 14, April 1st through 7th, 2024. The free-to-play game Wildlands 1.2 has been released, incorporating elements of real-time strategy and city-building simulator. The game is inspired by Settlers 2 and has similar gameplay. Both multiplayer mode and single-player campaigns with computer players are supported. The project code is written in C++ and Lua using the SDL library and is distributed under the GPLv2 license. Builds are created for Linux, AppImage, Flatpak, and PPA, Windows, and Mac OS. Nitrox 3.4.0, built on Debian, KDE Technologies, and the OpenRC init system, has been published. The project offers its own desktop, which is an add-on to KDE Plasma. Based on the MAUI library, a set of standard user applications is being developed for the distribution that can be used on both desktop systems and mobile devices. To install additional applications, a system of self-contained app images packages is being promoted. The project's developments are distributed under free licenses. STC IT Rosa has announced a corrective release of the freely distributed and community-developed distribution kit Rosa Fresh 12.5, built on the Rosa 2021.1 platform. Builds designed for the x86-64 platform in versions with KDE Plasma 5, GNOME, XFCE, LXQT, and without GUI have been prepared for free download. Users who already have the Rosa Fresh 12 distribution installed will receive the update automatically. The developers of the Mojo programming language have been converting the project's code into open-source software. The first to open source was the standard library code, which is now available under the Apache 2.0 license, with exceptions from the LLVM project that allow mixing with code under the GPLv2 license. In addition to publishing code, the development process has shifted towards openness and the ability to communicate third-party changes through submitting pull requests to GitHub. The source code of the compiler is planned to be opened after the design of the internal architecture is completed. Some developers of the systemd system manager are discussing reducing the dependencies of the libsystemd library, which links not only to systemd components but also to many external applications. In Fedora, more than 150 packages use libsystemd in their dependencies. The initiator of the discussion believes that adding additional third-party libraries to libsystemd that are not controlled by systemd developers significantly increases the attack surface in the event of third-party libraries being compromised, as happened with the libelzma library. In addition to libelzma and glibc, libsystemd also adds libzstandard, liblz4, and libgcrypt, the security of which becomes critical. Libsystemd provides access to 12 basic APIs, and a situation arises where an application, for example, using libsystemd only for the sake of calling the sdnotify function to inform systemd about a state change, or sdjournal to write data to the log, links with all other libraries and API handlers. As a way out, they propose to split libsystemd into several separate libraries responsible for separate APIs, which will allow third-party dependencies to be loaded only when they are needed. Drew DeVault presented the release of Redict 7.3.0 DBMS project. Redict is forked from Redis 7.2.4, the latest version distributed under the BSD license. The changes developed by the Redict project are distributed on the LGPLv 3.0 license, but the code borrowed from Redis remains under the BSD license. Redict 7.3.0 is positioned as the first separate release of the project. The changes so far are related to rebranding and other minor changes. For example, the Redis-CLI utility has been renamed to Redict-CLI. Redict 7.3.0 is fully compatible with the Redis 7.2.4 branch and can be used to replace it, but is not related to or compatible with the currently in development Redis 7.3.0 branch. The mobile web browser CNOS 2.1.0 has been published. It is designed to allow access to information in conditions where direct access to said information is impossible. For example, when internet segments are disconnected from the global network as a result of failures or actions of attackers. The browser is built on the Gecko View engine used in Firefox for Android, enhanced by the ability to exchange data through a decentralized P2P network. The project's code is distributed under the MIT license. Ready-made builds are available on Google Play. P2P functionality is included in separate library, WeNet, which can be used in arbitrary applications. The CNO browser and the WeNet library allow you to access information in situations up to a complete internet shutdown. In this case, content can be distributed from the cache or local storage. Google has introduced a new open-source JPEG-LI library with an implementation of a JPEG image encoder and decoder. The library includes additional optimizations to improve encoding efficiency, allowing for up to 35% higher compression rates for high-quality images than traditional JPEG codecs. Compared to LiveJPEG-Turbo, the JPEG-LI library allows you to achieve a similar level of quality while reducing the bitrate by 32%. At the API and ABI level, the library is fully compatible with LiveJPEG-62 and can be used to transparently replace it. The library code is written in C++ and distributed under the BSD license. Corrective releases of Xorg Server 21.1.12 and the DDX component Xwayland 23.2.5 have been published, which ensures the launch of Xorg Server for the execution of all X11 applications in Wayland-based environments. The new version of Xorg Server fixes 4 vulnerabilities. The new release offers the ability to block the connection of clients from systems with a different byte order, which is activated through the configuration parameter Allow Byte Swapped Clients, or the command line option plus Byte Swapped Clients. The government of Schleswig-Holstein state in northern Germany has approved the migration from Windows to Linux and from MS Office to LibreOffice on 30,000 computers in various government agencies. To organize collaboration in the new infrastructure, Nextcloud, OpenExchange, and Thunderbird will be used instead of Microsoft SharePoint and Microsoft Exchange/Outlook. And instead of Active Directory, a directory service based on an open-source software will be proposed. The transition to open-source software will affect all computers of government employees, including workstations of teachers in schools. The decision was made after the successful completion of a pilot project that lasted 2.5 years. FFmpeg 7.0 is available, which includes a set of applications and a collection of libraries for recording, converting, and decoding audio and video on various multimedia formats. The package is distributed under LGPL and GPL licenses. FFmpeg development is carried out adjacent to the MPlayer project. OpenBSD 7.5 is presented. The OpenBSD project was founded by Theo de Raadt in 1995. In addition to the operating system itself, the OpenBSD project is known for its components, which have become widespread in other systems and have proven themselves to be one of the most secure and high-quality solutions. Among them, LibreSSL, OpenSSH, PF Packet Filter, OpenBGPD, and OpenOSPFD routing daemons, OpenNTPD NTP server, OpenSMTPD mail server, text terminal multiplexer, analogous to GNU Screen, TMUX, IdentD daemon with an implementation of the Ident protocol, BSDL alternative GNU Groff package, Mandoc, Common Address Redundancy Protocol, lightweight HTTP server, OpenArtSync file synchronization utility. The NetPlan 1.0 toolkit has been published. NetPlan provides parameter storage in YAML format and provides backends that abstract configuration access for Network Manager and Systemd Network D. The project code is written in Python and C and is distributed under the GPL v3 license. In addition to employees from Canonical, employees from Microsoft and Deutsche Telekom also take part in the development of the project. NetPlan has been used in Ubuntu since the 17.10 release, is included in Ubuntu 23.10 desktop as the default backend in Network Manager, and is used by default to manage network settings in official Debian 12 cloud builds. NetPlan support is also implemented for Cloud-init and the Calamares installer. The new release of NetPlan 1.0 will be included in the Ubuntu 24.04 distribution and will ship with Debian 13. NetPlan 1.0 marks the first significant stable release, eliminating some long-deprecated features. Removing technical debt made the codebase easier to maintain and removed barriers that were preventing some new ideas from being implemented. The Open Media Center Kodi 21.0 released an update. The Media Center provides an interface for viewing live TV and managing your collection of photos, movies, and music. It supports navigation on TV shows, has an electronic cart guide, and does video recordings on schedule. Ready-made installation packages are available for Linux, FreeBSD, Raspberry Pi, Android, Windows, Mac OS, tvOS, and iOS. The project code is distributed under the GPL v2 Plus license. Initially, the project was aimed at creating an open multimedia player for the Xbox game console, but in the process of development it was transformed into a cross-platform media center running on modern software platforms. About a dozen commercial set-top boxes and several open projects are based off Kodi. The developers of GNOME summed up the work carried out in the project over the past week. The file manager, Nautilus, has published plans to create a file selection interface which can be used in applications instead of the dialogues to open the files provided by GTK. Compared to the implementation of the GTK in the new interface will provide better integrated behavior and visual design, as well as elements and advanced features of the GNOME platform such as Live Adwaita and wildcard selection. AV Linux 23.2 is out, containing a selection of applications for creating and processing multimedia content. The distribution is based on the package database of MX Linux and the KX Studio repository, with a collection of applications for sound processing and additional packages of their own build. The distribution can function in live mode and is available for x86-64. The Linux kernel in AV Linux comes with a set of Liquorix patches to increase the responsiveness of the system during work related to sound processing. A custom environment based on Enlightenment is supplied. The distro includes Ardor, Ardor VST, and Harrison Mixbus, Blender 3D design systems, video editors Cinelera, OpenShot, Lives, and tools for converting multimedia file formats. The option to use sysvinit or systemd is available at the time of installation. Alexander Schwinn, who is involved in the development of the XFCE desktop environment and the Thunar file manager, tried to calculate an estimated number of XFCE users. Assessing the popularity of the main Linux distributions, it was concluded that about 14 million users work in XFCE. With this episode, Full Circle Weekly News moves from a format of 10 minutes or less to one of 15 minutes or less. There may not be more news, and I will be happy to have shorter episodes, but this change means I may not need to edit so many facts out of articles to finish under the time limit. You've been listening to Full Circle Weekly News. For more details, see the next issue of the magazine at fullcirclemagazine.org or check the links in the show notes. You can contact me at bardmoss@pm.me. I'll see you next week.